Welcome, everyone. Again, we just thank you for being with us for this moment with the Master. And friends, we just appreciate you giving us this time so that we can get a chance to get to know Jesus better. And the way to get to know Jesus is through his word. You know, the Bible says that one of the most brilliant, smartest men in the Bible was a man by the name of Solomon. I mean, he was brilliant. He was a gifted writer. He was a wonderful statesman. He wrote this book called Proverbs that's in the Bible. He wrote most of this book called Proverbs, which is a book of wise saying. And in it, what's interesting, he said a lot of things that he learned from experience. He talked about a lot of things that his dad told him. His father was King David. But in the very last chapter, chapter 31 of the book of Proverbs, he closes it by saying, I want to tell you what my mama told me. I want to share with you what my mother told me. I want to share with you some of her wisdom. And I'll tell you, ain't no wisdom like a mother's wisdom. It's something about a mother's love and a mother's wisdom that is amazing. And you know, the thing about Solomon, one of his weaknesses was his relationships with women. And he had, the Bible talks about the fact that he had many wives. And he had another group of women called concubines, hundreds of them. So he knew a lot about women. He had a lot of relationships. But he said, you know what? In all those relationships that I had, I really needed to find a woman like my mother. And so he describes her in chapter 31 of the book of Proverbs. And he's going to do two things very shortly I want to share with you. He's going to share what his mother looked like, because Solomon he was in so many relationships with women because he was into the external beauty, how women looked on the outside. But here in Proverbs 31, he's going to say, my mama told me that the most beautiful woman is a woman with a beautiful heart and a beautiful character. And he's going to describe it. The Bible says in Proverbs 31, verse 10, he said, a woman or a wife of noble character, who can find? She is far more than rubies. And what he does, he describes literally, I think, his mother and what kind of woman that he was searching for in all those relationships. He says, her husband, now this is what his mother told him. He's repeating what his mother told him. He said, her husband, talking about this virtuous or noble woman, her husband has full confidence in her. That means she's a counselor. The Bible says she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. So she gives her husband great counsel. Verse 15, she gets up while it was still night and provides food for her family. She's a great cook and she provides food for her family. She's a gourmet cook. The Bible also says in verse 16, she considers a field and she buys it out of her earnings and plants a vineyard. This woman is a real estate investor. She knows real estate. Verse 18, she sees her trading is profitable. She's a commodities trader. Okay. This woman is absolutely amazing. The Bible says she opens her arms, verse 20, to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. She's compassionate. She's a philanthropist. She gives to poor people and people who are hurting, and she gives food and clothes. He said, this is a one. He says in verse 23, her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes his seat. She makes him look good. She makes linen garments and sells them. She not only makes clothes, she sells clothes. And then look what he says in verse 25. She is clothed. He said, now, here's what a beautiful woman looks like. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She speaks wisdom and faithful instruction. She's a teacher. She's an educator. And she pours into others. Well, what does she need? Now he closes. So he spends the first from verses 10 to verse 27 talking about what a good woman gives to others. But then he ends with 4 verses on what she needs. He says, first of all, she needs commendable children. Her children rise up and call her blessed. She needs children who will appreciate the kind of mother they have. Secondly, she needs a dependable husband. Look at the text. Verse 28. Her husband also, he praises her. She needs a dependable husband who will stand up for her, a dependable husband who will be her biggest cheerleader, who will lift her up, who will elevate her and treat her like the queen that she is. Thirdly, she needs, the text says, some expendable money. He talks about honor and cheering her up. It suggests the fact that she's been taking care of everybody else. Her husband and her children need to take care of her. And the last thing he says she needs, he says that let her works bring her praise at the city gates. The city gates represents the community and her faith community, the church. She needs a responsible church, a responsible community who appreciates the value of a good and godly woman. Commendable children, a dependable husband, expendable money, and a responsible church and community to honor her as the queen, as the woman of God that has been placed in the family and in the church. Friends, I hope this has been encouragement. I just think we live in an era that music and pictures degrade women. And among God's family, we ought to lift up females and let the world know that we see them as the gift that God has meant for them to be. Friends, you take care. And the next thing you need to do is the woman who's blessed your life, whether it's your mother or your wife or your daughter or your sister, show them that you love them. Take care. See you next time. Thanks.